Hi guys, welcome to the Clover Academy. So we are going to cover how we build a Node.js microservice, and then we have set up the RabbitMQ cluster in Kubernetes, and then the Node.js will publish the messages to RabbitMQ broker, right? And then we will receive that on the console and we will check that, right? That's the session we are going to cover. Thank you for watching and listening. Let's get into the session, guys. Thank you. Hi guys, we are going to uh, build a microservice in Node.js, and then the Node.js microservice will publish the messages to the RabbitMQ broker, and then we can check that messages are received or not in the RabbitMQ management console, right? So I'm going to start a Docker. I think we need to install a Docker. So in our Windows, so you can go to, as I mentioned in my previous videos, you can go to install Docker. Docker is started. Docker on Windows. You can find the instruction to install Docker on Windows. You can click this and it will show you. And then we have to install Minikube because we are going to deploy the Node.js microservice in this single cluster node, Kubernetes single cluster node in Minikube. Minikube cluster, right? The cluster setup, we will set up the, you know, multiple nodes, and then we are running our containerized application in Kubernetes, right? But Minikube is a single cluster node, cluster setup, but it's a single node will be there. So we can, if you want to test any kind of Kubernetes changes, cluster setup changes, we can test it in the Minikube in our local, and then we are going to, before moving to the cloud environment, right? Cloud environment, that GKS or EKS, AKS will be there where we can deploy our changes in that, right? In cloud environment, right? And then Minikube, install Minikube. We can also type like install Minikube on Windows. So this I already shown you in the previous videos how to install Minikubes. Once you install Minikubes, and then RabbitMQ, we have to set up a cluster in RabbitMQ. So the previous session I have covered how to set up RabbitMQ. Anyhow, here also I'm setting the RabbitMQ. It's a very few steps you can install that RabbitMQ cluster, and then we can deploy the Node.js microservice into Minikube cluster, right? Single node cluster. And so before that, Docker is started, so we see the icon saying Docker is running, and then Minikube, we have to start the Minikube as well. So go here, Minikube, Minikube. So before Minikube start, we will build a Docker image, right? So I will go to the Node.js application. We build a Node.js application. Before that, we need to use the Visual Studio to run and test our Node.js changes, right? We have to install the Visual Studio. Visual Studio as well is very straightforward. You can go to install Visual Studio on Windows. If I give like this, you will get the steps to install that. Sorry, not this one. You can install maybe this one. Click the install Visual Studio. You can install that, and once you install Visual Studio, you will get the console like this. I have already created a folder and created a projects for Node.js. I just open this I just open this folder. So I'm going here. So here is a projects, RabbitMQ. Click RabbitMQ and then open it. So this is a module. So in Node.js, right, we have to init. I already covered my previous steps. We have to first, what we need to do is we have to init the npm init minus y. We have to give that so that it will initialize all Node.js out of the box modules. So once it's initialized, and then we have to install express npm Node.js. Npm is a node package manager, so we have to use npm express and install. If you give this, it will install all the express required modules. And once we install these steps, right, you can get a package.json. So all the dependency, RabbitMQ dependency, express dependency, body parser, amqlib is a dependency, RabbitMQ dependency, right? We need to install all this dependency. So if to install dependency, in Node.js, we have to use npm and then install and then the dependency name like amqlib means if you give amqlib enter, it will be installed, right? So like that we have all this installed. So these 4 dependency I have installed currently in the Node.js. And then Node.js root folder I place a Docker file. So Docker file, if you see that, from which the base image we can give any image. So working image, so node 13 alphin is the base Node.js image. So it will launch the container, Node.js container in the Kubernetes cluster, and then working directory and package.json and npm install, and then copy current to source directories to current, and then port number exposed, and service.js. This is a service.js file. So here I required modules I install, body parser, express, producer is another JS file. So I just included here producer class. I instantiated the class, and then this is just app, use the app body parser and then JSON, and then we are calling the REST API to publish the message, right? So producer.publish, wait, this is a async call. So I just called producer.publish message, and then respond, and then the exchange type is RabbitMQ. When you are publishing the message, it will go to exchange, and exchanger will direct to the message to the particular queue, respective queue, right? And then message, what message it has to go. If you see the publisher, this method is there in the producer class, producer.js file. If you see there, see require AMQP lib module, and then RabbitMQ AMQ guest is a username, guest user. This is very important. Actually, RabbitMQ is a service name. In Kubernetes, this is a service name, not a pod name. We have to give service name, because service is only one service, but broker can be multiple. So we should not give the broker name. We should give the service name, right? Right. And then exchange name is Cloud for Academy. You can give any name, exchange name I given. And producer class, I created producer class, and then producer class I create a channel, async call, and inside the channel I initialize the connection, and then create a channel. Once I created a channel, and then I'm going here publish message, giving the key, because we have to always give the key and message, and then create channel. If not chat, create channel, RabbitMQ exchange name, and then asset exchange direct, and then what is the message we have to capture that. And then this is a sending item. Here we are going to send the queue. Queue is Cloud Academy queue. So this is a body message which you are receiving from Postman or anywhere. This is a request we are sending to the queue. Payload, this is a payload structure, payload, JSON payload. We are just sending to the Cloud Academy queue, right? So this is a code for connecting to RabbitMQ and publishing the message to the RabbitMQ broker, right? So this is a way. And then package.json I have already shown. This is detailed about all the dependencies. It's a Docker file. That's it. Only once we are done it, we will go to this root folder, RabbitMQ folder, right? I just went to the RabbitMQ folder, and Docker is started. So we have to build a Docker image. Docker build in the current directory -t, and this is RabbitMQ demo. Just you can give RabbitMQ demo. Just enter. It will build an image, right? It will build image. So once build the image, we have to tag the image first. We have to tag the image, and then we have to push the image to the Docker hub, Docker registry. If you go there, we can see the image. Say now I'm going to see the images. List of images will be there. Docker images. It lists out all the images. So the old images are the recent image. This is the recent image ID. So I copy the image ID, and then coming down, and then Docker tag image ID, and then Docker name, Docker user ID / and then you can go here, name of the image. That's the name of the image. This is the name of the image, right? Copy this name of the image and v1 version 1. So it will tag the image, and then we have to push the image to the Docker hub, Docker registry. So I'm going here, push. This Docker is pushing the image. So we have to copy this Docker image name here. So this is a build file, microservice build file, NodeJS Microservice deployment script. This is this script. It will be deployed in the Kubernetes cluster, I mean Minikube. So we have to use this one. So I've just changed the image name. If you want to change the Node.js, you can directly keep the Node.js, or we can change it. So now I updated the only image name. Here I updated the image name, and port number 808080, right? Here also 8080. just update the port number is 8080, because here the port number is 8080. Okay, Docker also 8080, right? Port number. And this is a deployment script to deploy the microservices. So once we now I think build is completed, push the image. If you go to Docker Hub, you can see the Docker Hub. You can see the images. Docker Hub login. You can go to Docker Hub login page. So Docker Hub login page. See the RabbitMQ new image is built, right? This is the image name. If you go to version, it will be a complete image name. So this image is pushed to the Docker Hub. So you can use in the cluster directly this image, right? So now I'm going here. Image is pushed. I'm going to. There are a few steps to run the RabbitMQ cluster. So we have to all the RBAC roles using cluster operator. So I'm just running this. So sorry, I have to run the minikube. We have to start the minikube first. Minikube, you have to start the cluster, right? Minikube start. Once it will start that, you can run this cluster operator, which will add all RBAC roles for running the RabbitMQ. It takes some time, so I just hold. Yeah, minikube is started. Now I'm just going to call this cluster operator. Cluster operator is done, and then I'm going to run this RabbitMQ cluster. So this is a cluster because already I hosted the current directory. So this is a directory I hosted. See RabbitMQ, but RabbitMQ is not here. So I'm just going to copy the RabbitMQ in the current directory. So RabbitMQ file I have already placed in this folder. C drive, Spring Innovation. So I just copy this RabbitMQ cluster file. So this file I previous session I already explained. So this is the RabbitMQ script. So this is RabbitMQ, and the very important thing is you have to give the username password. Otherwise it will be difficult to reset that username password. So user is guest and guest user. So default user we have to configure in the additional configuration, and we can give in a number of configuration like based on our use cases we can configure this script actually. Since it's just demo session, I just few, and then only one replicas, only one broker will configure, one node will be configured, because if we configure multiple node, then there is a memory issue in our local because minikube will not start all the nodes. So that's only one node, but it's a cluster only. Okay, so on configuration also we can do like persistent, how do we persist RabbitMQ changes, logs and all. You can persistent changes. For that we can use volume and mount volume, and all those things can be done based on our use cases, right? So just done that. I'm going to run this RabbitMQ script now. This script is hosted here, RabbitMQ. So this is a script. I'm going to run this RabbitMQ script now. The cluster setup will be ready. So this file is staying already exists. So we have to delete this RabbitMQ. Yeah, it's deleted, and again create. Yeah, it's created. Now if you see that, if you keep minikube curl get PO, it will show that. Get PO, it will show that. See, it's still it's initializing. So now this Node.js, entire Node.js are packaged as a image, Docker image, and then we are going to deploy this image into the minikube cluster, Kubernetes cluster. So before that I just checking, yeah, still is running. RabbitMQ cluster is still setup is initiated, because only one node, only one broker. As I said, right, the memory issue, I just called only one. Okay. Yeah, now cluster is running. See, RabbitMQ server, this is a broker name. This is the broker. One broker is started, RabbitMQ server, right? One pod is started. If you see this AC service, only one service will be there, that is a RabbitMQ. This service name we have to give in the Node.js script. That is a Node.js script, right? Produce a script, we have to give connectivity. guest AMQQ port, and then RabbitMQ. This service name we have to give. This is very important, right? To connect the RabbitMQ server broker, right? Now I started. I'm going to deploy the microservice now. I'm going to deploy this microservice, right? This is a microservice deployment script. I'm going to deploy this using kubectl apply minus f this, and this will deploy the microservice. Now we can check if pod is started or not. Get says po. Now this container is creating, still is going on. Node.js, now Node.js is running. So, and now we are on RabbitMQ cluster started, and Node.js also started, right? I'm going to start the RabbitMQ management console. So for that, kubectl get svc minikube service. It will start the service or application. We have to use minikube service, and it will start the service application. So we can copy this is a port number, so you can just enter that. See, management console is started. Default password is guest. That's what you given the configuration, right? Now it went that, and so I think there are no this overview and connections. So no cluster right now setup, and then, cluster is set up. So we can check this connections. One connections will be there. Connection still, once application is initiated, then we can see the connections, right? So see only one cluster is set up. So connection are initiated. No channels, no exchanges. Are default exchanges are there, because Node.js publishing the message, it will come to exchanges, and then it will see Cloud for Academy exchange name, and then it will push to the queue. So queue, currently we have created Cloud for Academy queue. So we can go here, we can change it, or you can keep the same queue, like Cloud for where is the queue name? Cloud for Academy queue. I think queue name is same, right? Cloud for Academy queue. Okay, queue is already there. If you want, we can create the queue. We can go to add queue, and we can create the queue, and then can create the queue. If you click the queue, you can see the messages, get messages. So there are no messages, right? Showing. Okay, now I'm going to publish the messages, right? So for that, I'm just going to start the postman, and then we have to copy this URL. So I'm just now started this. I'm going to start the application, so Node.js application. For that, we have to say mini get svc, and I'm just going to start. Get svc, take some time. Let's see. So I just close this one, and you'll see here. I'm going to start minikube again, service and Node.js name, Cloud Node.js. This is a Node.js application service name. So I just enter the service. So minikube spelled mistake. Minikube. It started. Application is started now. You can go to postman, and already service name is there. So you copy this port number, post number. This is a REST service. You can see in the Node.js. This is a service name in Node.js. This is a service name. You can go to service file. This is a service name. Producer RabbitMQ message, right? And now I'm going to just say welcome to Cloud for Academy. I'm just giving welcome to Cloud for Academy. Welcome to Cloud for Academy. Just publish the message. Send message is saying okay. See, message is published. If you want multiple times, you can publish the same message. And now I will go to the console. You can go to the console. You can refresh this. So we have to start again. I just stopped that, right? So we have to start this RabbitMQ application. This is RabbitMQ, right? I think we have to reinitiate again. We have to connect. We have to connect this. RabbitMQ. Service RabbitMQ. So we have to use expose the port. We can expose it, or we can do this way, or we can tunnel. We can install it, and we can get the endpoint Minikube tunnel. So I'm not using that right now. So Q, I'm going Q. So Q I clicked. So get messages. See the message are published. See. Cloud 11, welcome to Cloud for Academy. The message is published. Node.js is published the message. See, you can see the messages. How many messages? One messages. Only one. It is two messages. See, here number of messages 2. If I click 3, you can keep on sending one. Messages will display. So if you go here, if you refresh the get message, 6 messages. See, showing 6 messages total. So like that we can test that. So Node.js is publishing the message in the Kubernetes cluster and sending the message to the RabbitMQ broker, and broker is receiving the message. Okay. So very high level, we build a NodeJS microservice, and then the microservice is publishing the message through Postman. I am just publishing the message. That message is received in the RabbitMQ broker. We can go to the management console and we can check that. So how is receiving the message, right? Thank you for watching and listening. We are looking forward to join our Cloud.